Okay, so yesterday we lost 4 games in a row with, I think, 4 of us in all of the games. And this is the first one. I'm going to start with this game where I'm on Yi. This is the match history for the game. So if you kind of look at the total gold arc, we are, between 2 and 4K ahead up until kind of this region right here. And we're basically going to wipe, I guess, everyone but E, and then they're going to take a Baron, and from there they're going to snowball the game the rest of the way. So that's the moment I'm going to focus on, because up until that point we're actually advantaged. So whatever we've done to that point, our play is looking pretty good. So this is minute 23. This is what we can see from our vision. If we just look at the total gold, yeah, we're up about 2K. Where is everybody? I can see everyone but myself. I don't see where the E is, so maybe I'm dead at this moment. I'm just going to start watching it from here, and we're going to see what happens. Oh, I was in Alpha Strike when the recording began. So this looks pretty good. Olaf's splitting. He has TP up. Looks like he's grouping. He's jungling. Looks like there's probably going to be some action around mid. This is generally how we want to play this, right? We want, at least 4 of us grouped at all times, and maybe one of us separate is looking to join up. That's just to prevent the other team from grouping as 5 and then just steamrolling the game. I'm going to go down here to clear that bot wave, and I like this. The team is grouped around Dragon, which seems sort of fine. We saw their Kale mid. Now here's where the action begins. Olaf goes in, goes ham. Jinx gets deleted by Zed. Olaf's still 1v3 under their tower and dies. Annie and Zyra and I are still trying to catch up. I don't ever enter the fight. And I think I probably just ghost away to try to save one of us. Okay, so that's where we threw the game right there. And we went from 2K ahead to just marginally behind. From here, they're going to, if we speed it up, they're going to take Baron off of this. So they Baron. Now they're up about 1K. And from here, it's downhill. So I'm going to go back, and we're going to watch from each of our perspectives, kind of like what happened there. Better. So I'm clearing the wave. That's sort of reasonable. If I look at the mini map, I don't actually think there's a team fight going to happen because I saw Kale mid, so I know the other team isn't grouped as 5. But I start moving up because I start thinking there's a team fight going to happen. I know Kale is mid when I last saw her, but we just lost vision of that, so I'm thinking, oh, there's maybe a team fight. I'm trying to group. I'm still watching the mini map. I'm probably not looking over here. I should have noticed Olaf is starting to go ham. So Olaf has started the team fight. Now, based on everyone's position, I am really far out. The only way I can possibly get to make this team fight is if I ghost and ult at this moment. If I ult this early, my ult will be down before the team fight's done. So what I should have done is hit my ghost and just started running towards this Olaf because Olaf's going ham. And probably saved my ultimate, because if I use my ultimate, it won't be up for the team fight. And he doesn't really fight team fights very well without his ultimate up. Annie is in great position here. She's in a position to help this Olaf, right? They can both protect each other. If Ezreal and Kale just turn on the Annie, Olaf can turn around. If everyone goes ham on the Olaf, Annie's in position to stun. She's got her stun up. That's good. Jinx isn't in position to help with any of these 3 targets, and Zyra's not in position to help with any of these 3 targets. So these positioning, this is rough, and I'm in a really bad situation. So I'm going to keep watching what's looking for. I make a big mistake here. I start killing this crab. I either haven't realized that Olaf is engaged and is going ham here, or I don't think it's a good fight, so I'm just not coming. I'm thinking this is just oh, he's just going to turn around. We don't have vision of any of them at this moment. We know there's at least Kale and Ezreal up here. We just saw them and they dropped out of vision. We don't know where the other two are. Turns out Zed's going to be in this bush, but we don't really know that yet. My perspective, team fight's happening. Okay, Jinx just got deleted. I'm still back here. Ben just lost the 1v3. Zyra's not in the fight, and Annie's just going to feed. So here, my main mistake here was back. Maybe at this point, if I know Olaf is going to actually engage this fight, I shouldn't be here. I should just let these, either we lose this tower because there's a canyon minion, but I think the tower probably stays up. We might lose the tower if I leave, but at this point, I probably have to start ghosting to be able to get in here. I don't think even running would get me there. But then my second mistake is when I move up here, I'm on the crab, Olaf's in. I need to be booking it to get into this fight. So I am sorely out of position for this fight. I'm gonna Olaf. So this is what Olaf, sort of centered on Olaf here. Okay, so he's poking. The team is grouped. This looks pretty strong. Okay, at that point, Olaf has decided to engage. The whole team should be thinking, Olaf's going ham, run behind him. Because no one can really stop Olaf, and they're basically just going to run back from Olaf while his entire ultimate is up. So I think that engage is actually okay. The only thing that seemed a little suspect is it's not possible for me to get there. Now, we don't know where any of them are. He's still going ham. Ben's pretty sure he's going to get the Morgana. He would have got the Morgana had Kayle not ulted. But at this point, I think we saw Morgana have ulted and Kayle is ulted. So Olaf's taken at least 2 of their ults here at this point, which is pretty strong. He dies under the tower, so that was probably a little too ham if we look at it. I still like it here. I think this is okay. I don't like where Kayle and Jinx are because they can't really help the Olaf, but Olaf can probably force a lot out. We force out the Black Shield off of Morgana. Then we get the Kayle ult. I guess we didn't get the Morgana ult, which is interesting. Oh, no, that's the Morgana ult. We got the Morgana ult. So you got at least 2 ults. That was pretty good. Ezreal's back here. He's got 3. So a valid way of thinking from the Olaf's perspective is he's in a 1v3. We should be in a 4v2 back here. So we should be crushing them back here from Olaf's perspective. But this is probably a little too ham because he couldn't actually kill all these people. It's also valid kind of for Olaf to be thinking like, where the hell is everybody? Because you were all grouped back, except for me, who was out of position, right? Like, you're grouped. Everyone can support Olaf if he goes ham here. Although Jinx moved out. Jinx isn't moving forward. I don't think Jinx realizes that the Olaf is going to go ham here, right? Because at this moment, if the Jinx moves forward, if you just step it back just like a little bit, I wish I could move just like a fraction of a second. Yeah, so at this moment, see that Jinx steps up as Olaf moves forward, and this puts Jinx completely out of the fight by stepping up in that. And now, Jinx is probably afraid of where the Zed's at. There's only so many places Zed could be. Zed could be on this side. As much as black over here, I'd be worried Zed's coming out of here. He's actually down here. That seems pretty unlikely because look where the vision is. Now at this moment, I'm not sure Olaf should go ham because there's 3 of them and 2 of them we don't know. So it's possible that there's actually 1 here, 2 here, and 2 here. And if that's the case, what Olaf's doing is kind of madness. It turns out that's not the case. Zed's behind. I still don't know where the 5th one is, right? So we know the 3 are here. Olaf should know that. And Zed's here. Now, at this moment, I think if Olaf turns on this Zed, he's at full health. I think we would just kill the Zed here. We're going to try the Zed for Jinx. So he would have to turn around at this sort of moment. I don't like that we don't know where the 5th player is. Now, Olaf could have still turned around here. He just walked out, and I think that's probably what should have happened. He's taking tower shots, which makes this rough. Okay, now we're going to look at this from Jinx perspective. The time is 23:40, just before kind of everything happens here. Let's see, Jinx is trying to stay behind everyone. This is looking like pretty good positioning. Love the positioning here. I don't like what just happened. We just heard Ghost. We just heard him Ghost, which means he's engaging, and Jinx is moving away. He's moving up, right? Olaf is moving this way mostly and a little bit down. Jinx just stepped up. So by doing that, you're not going to be able to help the Olaf. Positioning's a little tricky, right? You both need to protect each other. Like some of your positioning needs to be you're behind and you're safe, but some of your positioning needs to be you're within everyone else so they can help you. No one can peel for the Jinx if the Jinx is off by herself. And this is sort of what happens. So at this moment, like just in terms of positioning, Jinx can't participate in the team fight happening here that Olaf is initiating. Zyra and Jinx can protect each other. So you can peel for each other, so that's good. You can protect each other. But you're not in range to get help with either of these people. Let's move it forward a little bit. Now, and Zed is just waiting in this bush to ult you. I think you get bursted so fast, I don't think you can survive. I don't even think you did get ulted, but I don't think that's what kills you. Let's watch. Yeah, you died to... I don't think you actually died to the... Now, Annie turned around to peel for you. Zyra didn't manage to get a root off in time, although I don't think it matters because Zed can get enough. So I think in terms of positioning here, what would have been ideal? So at this moment, while Zed's in this bush and you're going to die to him, I think you needed to move forward here to participate in the fight. The other option is you can't move in at all. Because you don't know where Zed is. Zed could be on this side. We have no vision there. And we'd have no vision here. So you can't move here. Zed can delete you. You can't move here. And you can't move here because Zed can be there. So you can't move to either of these places. You either have to move in so that both Olaf, Annie, and Zyra can protect you, or you need to stay out entirely. Yeah, and at that point, right, Zyra has no way to help you because you're too far away. Annie can. She actually turns. This is interesting because if you watch, he gets on you. Annie turns very quickly. This is almost as fast as Annie can turn to help protect you. And she got the stun off. It's interesting. They'd cast his stuff before it got you. So yeah, I think your two options were move up early so that Olaf could have helped, or stay out entirely until you know where the Zed is. Those are the options there. Okay. Okay, so at this I like it. At this moment, we just heard Olaf Ghost. Annie's got stun charged, and Jinx is getting aggressive. I like this. At this moment, I want Zyra to move in this direction to stay with the team fight, because Olaf has just signaled a team fight is happening. You have, at this moment, everything off cooldown, and both summoners. So you have both summoners, all of your abilities. Okay, I still like it. I don't like this. There's a team fight happening, and for some reason you're going to come over here, sweep this bush and put a ward in it. In this team fight time, the time to ward would have been before. Right? The time to put a ward in this bush or this bush was much earlier. At this point, it's not as useful. Okay, so you're moving out. You've now removed yourself. At this moment, you've removed yourself from the team fight. There's no way for you to participate in this team fight without like flashing in. And you're still doing it. So here, you should be thinking, fuck, why did I step away from Sean? If you were closer, you could have ulted here, dropped a bunch of plants, done some damage. Okay, now here, Olaf and Annie are clearly initiating. They both are moving up. Olaf is ghosting. You stepped out. Similar to Jinx, you stepping away from the fight here. And you're probably trying to protect yourself. The thing I don't like about where you stepped is we don't know if they're here. right? The safest area right now with the most vision of it is right where Olaf and Annie are. This is the center of available vision. This is actually a more dangerous area to be at than, say, right here on top of Olaf and Annie, right? Because if you're on top of Olaf and Annie, say Zed shows up from, this bush, Annie and Olaf just turn and nuke the Zed. But where you are, they can't protect you, and you don't know if you're more threatened. This is a more dangerous area because of this giant empty bush. And if I was Zed, if you're not on Fiddle, this is where I want to be. I'm thinking of ulting over here. So I don't like to step up because it's both less safe for you, because these people can't protect you, and we don't know if we're threatened here. Actually, you know what? That route was almost perfect since we're changing it. It was almost a perfect chain. Now, what I don't like is you stepped away. Zed has nothing. Zed has nothing. One auto attack would have killed him. Zed has nothing left. He just burned everything, and he's trying to get out. If you're going to do anything here, you should step into this bush. Or if you'd saved your ward that bush, because you know what? Annie, other than her W and her R, she can't attack things without vision. So she doesn't have vision here. This ward here made it so you couldn't kill the Zed here, this moment. And then, like we said, if we move this forward, you're still moving out of the fight, which is probably the right thing. We should have left at this moment. But if you do stay, the other thing is you also had your ult. You could have, as soon as you saw Zed, you could have rooted and ulted this entire area, right? Zed can only swap to shadows. So you rooted him, and if Annie doesn't kill him, the only place he can possibly swap back to is where he came from, which is here. So if you ulted this area, you would have got a knock-up on either where he was or a knock-up on where he was going to. You could have done that. Right here. Maybe a little more. But at this moment, you can ult this area. And if you ult this area, no matter what Zed does other than moving up, but if he moves up or moves this way, Annie's going to kill him. You would have got him, right? Because the ult would have been in this area. Now you move up here. Look how advantaged, you're moving away from the fight. Look at the Zed. What is the Zed? The Zed's not going to kill you. He just burned all of his CC. So if you could just step in and auto, step in and, if you have any abilities up. It says everything's up. I don't believe it. Because we know you just rooted. Nothing to be afraid of here. Step in. The only one we don't know where Udyr is. But if Udyr's in this bush, look what Annie's at. She's almost got another stun up. So the Zed got away because you sort of stepped away and didn't move here. Now at this point, we are disadvantaged. We should just leave. I'm trying to salvage something from this situation, but we've lost too many people at this point. So at this point, you and I should just turn, because we know there's at least 3 here, and there's the Zed here. There's 4 people. Annie's just way overextended. Now, it's possible we could walk in and try to help Annie get out, but that's probably not going to happen. She's basically in a 1v4 at this point unless we can get in. So yeah. And you walk all the way over here to auto. Your other stuff is on cooldown. Yeah, everything's on cooldown. Oh, except your ult. You're holding your ult. So that's really scary. If there's ever a team fight happens and you're still holding your ult, or you die holding your ult, we probably made a mistake. So do you catch your ult at any point here? You're still holding it. And you flash, you're dead. There's no reason to flash here. Flashing here is just giving up a free flash. You're dead. There's nothing to be saved here. If you are going to flash, step here. Right? You flash this way, they can catch you this way. If you walk here and flash the wall, they can flash after you. Ezreal just eat over this way, so he can't chase. I think you might have actually survived if you flashed like that.